A large number of Tibetan Uyghur activists on January 23rd organized a protest against the human rights violations being committed by China. The protest was held at Broken Chair in front of United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. In the name of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, security establishment in China has increased interference in the Xinjiang province. On the other hand, Islamabad-Beijing friendship is exploiting the natural resources in Pakistan's Balochistan province. Pakistan is turning Gwadar and other coastal areas of Balochistan into a Chinese stronghold. A report. A large number of Tibetan and Uyghur activists organized a protest against China outside the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva on January 23rd. The protests occurred during the 45th session of the Universal Periodic Review at the United Nations. The protesters were carrying banners reading "Decolonize Tibet, China out of Tibet and shame on China." A poster exhibition was also held to highlight human rights violations in Tibet and Xinjiang.
It is a good step, I believe, because 2018 Third Circle only 14 countries raised the Uyghur issue. But this time more than 31 countries. But 2018, there is no big evidence. Nobody knows because China had successfully hiding this reality. But after that, last 5-6 years, so many leaked document was published. A lot of media document was published. Come survivor made testimony. A lot of international scholar, independent scholar made statement, and also UN High Commissioner report were released. In this situation, only 30 countries speaking out, another 130, more than 130 countries, and they close the eyes, blind eyes, and don't speaking out. Even some of them is to give high price to the Chinese government on the name developed. So it is mean China very successfully doing its disinformation campaign around the world and use its economic power, and the economic power and diplomatic power, trying to hide its crime.
During China's third UPR in November 2018, Beijing received 346 recommendations from 150 countries and accepted 284 of them, with many questionably noted as accepted and already implemented. Despite a seemingly high acceptance rate, China broadly rejected recommendations on the rights of Uyghurs and Tibetans. Beijing rejected cooperation with the UN and restricted UN access to all regions of the country. Since 2018, mounting human rights abuses have been largely documented by a range of UN human rights bodies.
Uyghurs and Tibetans is not just a regional concern, but a global echo calling for justice, dignity, respect, and for human rights. In conclusion, as we stand together here today, at this critical juncture, let us remember that the Universal Periodic Review is more than a diplomatic engagement. It is a moral obligation. We are entrusted with the responsibility to uphold the principles of human rights, to advocate for the silence, and to ensure that no individual or community is left behind. Let this UPR be a testament to our unwavering commitment to these ideals.
Human rights groups believe China has detained more than 1 million Uyghurs against their will over the past few years in a large network of what the state calls re-education camps and sentenced hundreds of thousands to prison terms. Moreover, on the name of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, security agencies and the army establishment have increased interference in the matters of civilian administration in Xinjiang. Pak-China coalition is exploiting people living on the both sides of the border. Pakistan is turning Gwadar and many other coastal areas of Balochistan into a Chinese stronghold that has the largest concentration of military cantonments and bases in the region. International observers say that it is the Chinese influencing the security policies of Pakistan in the region. They have been instructing Islamabad to get rid of the local people in the Gwadar region, where the multi-billion flagship project CPEC culminates. Pakistan, which is already under massive Chinese debts, has no option but to follow commands.